When I realized I was over 200 pounds, it was when that boy told me he wasn't on my run anymore. And I had to now look at myself and say, so what do we do next? So you know what I did? I started to run. My weight was dropping, but at some point it was stagnant at like 180. Then after 180, I had to go get tested because it was like nothing was happening with my body. So when the doctors, like they did a full workup of me, they literally rolled the scan over my pelvis and it was like, hey, we need you to go home and come make a pass and come back. When I came back, she put her hand back on that same spot and there was a big lump. And that's how we figured out that I had fibroids. So they actually gave me birth control. And it was a bittersweet kind of, it was a bittersweet situation because it was helping with one part, but it was hurting in a lot of other ways, because that's how I realized that I developed depression. I was so sad, but I was losing the weight. So it was kind of like we were battling between, is this okay? And should I continue this way? What happened right after surgery was the isolation of, because after the surgery, I had to be in bed for like 6 weeks. I couldn't do certain things. I couldn't, and you know, people couldn't be around as much because I was at home or in the hospital. And something happened. One day I went probably 2 or 3 days without seeing someone. And from there, I think I went down a really dark road. I isolated myself. So I was eating. Sometimes I would eat too much, and then sometimes I would eat basically nothing because all I wanted to do was sleep. When I left work, I literally took my mask off because I was wearing this mask of, you know, you could be this human who you want to be, like this nice and this cordial, this playful, and everybody knows this lady, but no one really knew that I was really fighting a battle. And because I didn't run, I didn't eat properly, eventually that just snowballed out of control. Christina had just come back and I was toying with the idea, but she made me feel comfortable in a few interactions that we had outside of the gym. And I said, okay, I could do an assessment. When I came from that assessment, I knew I had found my trainer. When she put me on the treadmill, and I thought that was the worst thing ever. And every time I went back on the treadmill, somehow I saw the progression. And even though I wasn't eating properly yet, I felt different. I felt better. I was still talking to my therapist, and you know, it was nice to have a therapist, but I think fitness kind of trumped anything else at that point. I was learning how to cope with fitness. And I think that was one of the most enlightening journeys that I've ever been on, because it was first I was really nervous to be in a gym with people who were better than me. Now I used to put on my headphones and I always had like a big t-shirt, my tights and my tennis. And it was kind of like I was finding space for myself. But one day I wasn't finding space anymore. I was a part of this community and I was actually a big deal because I was making moves and I was lifting heavy stuff. So it was nice to see myself transform from June to December of 2019 to this modest kind of, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous to be in this gym, to this, yeah, I come to pick up some heavy stuff and go.